Watching strange things on the internet and then getting disgusted by it is a human paradox, and I'm guilty of it myself. That's why the comment section exists, is to let you show your disgust for the video you just chose to watch consciously. And I don't mind this weird behavior. I kinda like it actually, because sometimes it can be more entertaining than the video itself. But there's one comment that always catches my eye, or I would say a type of comment, and that is, "Oh, this world is coming to an end. Society is doomed. Our generation is the worst generation ever." Because of teenagers on TikTok making cringy videos. And I'm like, really? I don't think so. I don't believe that. So I decided to read history and see if we are really the worst generation, or is 2020 really that bad compared to the other times in history. So let's find out. Hey YouTube, my name is Zanetti and welcome to my channel. Since this is my first video, I'll give you a quick introduction to my channel. I made this channel because I want to share stories and weird facts that I like to research with you. So welcome again, and let's go. 1467, Sengoku Jidai. The period of samurais and ninjas. Most pop culture about Japan is set in this period, a time of war and suffering for the everyday Japanese guy, and a power struggle for the leaders and the elites, and fun for the criminals and the ronins, which is a wandering masterless samurai if you didn't know. The Sengoku period was initiated by the Onin War in 1467, which collapsed the feudal system in Japan under the Ashigaka shogunate, which was the ruling power during that time. Various samurai warlords and clans fought for control over Japan in order to fill the power vacuum. And the Iko-Iki came out of nowhere to fight against the samurai rule. But wait, what is the Iko-Iki? It was a rebel force formed by several religious groups in the 15th and the 16th century, backed by the Juro Shinsho sect of Buddhism. And if you wasn't someone powerful or special, then you're getting sliced. So, what I'm trying to say is, I don't think you would survive in ancient Japan. 800 AD, the Viking Age. In 793, the Vikings set foot for the first time on the kingdom of Northumbria of Anglo-Saxon England and attacked the church of St. Cuthbert in Lindisfarne. They killed most of the monks and enslaved the rest of them. This attack sent shockwaves throughout all of Europe and marked the beginning of the Viking Age. The Vikings just bullied the Europeans for about 200 years straight, terrorizing whoever they came across. Europe was going through the dark ages at the time, and the Vikings attacking them made it even worse for whoever was unlucky enough to be born during that time. It didn't matter if you were a peasant, a noble, or a king. If you happened to be anywhere around the Viking raid, it's game over. A lot of famous Vikings came out of this period: Ragnar Lothbrok, Ivar the Boneless, Bjorn Ironside, Eric Bloodaxe, and the list goes on. And these were the dark ages: poverty, illness, ignorance, and now add the Vikings to it, and you have the perfect recipe for a miserable and short existence. Oh, where am I? What is this? Oh, I'm alive. This is life. It's beautiful. Shit, what's happening? Yo, stop, please. I just got here. If one day humans ever create a time machine There's one group of people that can't mess with time, and that group is Africans. Being an African myself, I know that history is not our friend, and if I try to mention every bad moment in African history, this video will be as long as African history. Except for a few exceptions, of course. So instead I'm going to focus on the worst period in African history. The Atlantic slave trade. The transatlantic slave trade began in the 15th century when Portugal and other European kingdoms finally realized that now they can reach Africa. The Portuguese were the first culprits of this crime, and they started it by kidnapping people from the west coast of Africa, making this not only the worst period in African history but also the worst period to enjoy a sunny day on the beach. This period was a turning point in African history, and after this the world looked at Africa as an unguarded treasure that was up for grabs. Well, it was mostly the Europeans, who am I kidding, but you get the point. Africa was never the same after this, and most of the bad shit that happened after that is kind of the byproduct of this horrific period. I think this period is well known, and I don't need to explain more why an African living in these days wasn't the luckiest person ever. So again, if we ever reach the technology to make a time machine, as an African, don't even think about it. I know a lot of black people today believe that we was kings and shit, but the chances of you being a king... Just don't go back in time. It's already bad enough today. You don't want to see where it started. The 20th century is hands down by far the bloodiest 100 years of all time. Nothing can even come close to how destructive it was. This period in time is very ironic. It was held, or it was supposed to be the new golden age for humanity. We were supposed to create a utopia-like society, but it was the exact opposite. And harsh reality defeated the human race one more time. The 20th century is the last recorded century so far, and if I scatter all of the messed up events that happened during this time across history, each one of these events will become a major historical event by itself. The crazy thing is that we managed to inflict levels of destruction and war and pain in the span of a generation and a half that would have taken all the worst people before us combined thousands of years to accomplish. Despite all the major accomplishments made during this time, it still can't cover up for the crimes committed. Hey, Yuri Gagarin, the first man to ever leave the surface of the earth. What an amazing accomplishment. Yeah, but Stalin and the Soviet Union killed over 1 million people in the Gulag. Oh, we reached the moon. That's an amazing accomplishment for humanity. And the US dropped a nuclear fucking bomb in Hiroshima. It seemed that for every great person that gives people hope for a bright future, there was always someone in the corner waiting to remind them of the horrors of reality. I don't know if this period was supposed to be the end of the world project or just a coincidence, but all of the top 10 contenders of the worst humans to ever exist were alive at the same time. And once people finally get to breathe from all the madness, the world is like, psych! Ha! You thought that was it? Here, take this. And I know that Hiroshima happened way before the moon landing. What I'm trying to say is that this was a period of no in-betweens. It's either you kill a whole race of people or you reach the moon. Either you achieve one of the biggest accomplishments ever or one of the biggest crimes ever. And it kind of showed us and how much we can accomplish on both sides. Killing millions or changing the life of millions. The year 536 is considered the worst year ever by historians and archaeologists alike. Don't get it confused though, I said the 20th century was the bloodiest century. This right here is the worst year ever. Archaeologists believe that it was likely caused by a cataclysmic volcanic eruption in Iceland. In this year, no one was excluded. Everyone had a hard time, from Europe to the Middle East to Asia. A big cloud of fog covered the world in darkness for the duration of 18 months, causing crops to die, which resulted in worldwide famines and illness. Plus, our lovely ancestors loved to play war, so no food, illness, war around the globe, and this year undisputedly wins the Oscar for the worst year ever. And not 2020, let's be fair here.
To be honest, I can keep going on and on about the year 536, but that can be a story for another video. For now though, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Like and subscribe and leave a comment, and I'm out.